Alright, let's not waste time, guys. Xbox Gaming Pass just became significantly more expensive, and it's not just the latest in the long string of questionable decisions from Microsoft in 2025. If you've been following Xbox at all this year, you've known it's been really rough. And if you somehow missed the news, here's what you need to know. Xbox Gaming Pass Ultimate jumped from $20 per month to $30. That's a $10 increase or a $50 price hike. PC Gaming Pass went from $12 to $16.50, roughly a 28% price increase. These aren't just small adjustments. This is real money coming out of your monthly budget for a service that was supposed to be the best value in gaming. In all the years that I've followed gaming, I struggle to think a year where Microsoft didn't fumble something major with the Xbox, but in 2025 has been particularly brutal. After starting the year with cautious optimism, it feels like every month begins a new frustrating decision. Let's recap what we've seen so far. Global Xbox Series X and S price increases in May, layoffs affecting multiple studios, that bizarre attempt to $80 charge for Outer Worlds 2, more layoffs and project cancellations in July, followed by Microsoft walking back their $80 price after massive backlash. The ROG Xbox Ally handhelds created some positive buzz in August, which was some rare good news for Microsoft, but in September brought another console price hike, this time hitting the US market significantly. You can now spend $800 on an Xbox Series X 2TB Galaxy Black Edition. That's $50 more than the PS5 Pro, which is the more powerful hardware. This is for a console that's seen a decline in revenue. Standard Ally costs $600 while Ally X runs $1,000. These prices are absurd for devices who are supposed to be accessible entry points for into gaming. But Microsoft Gaming still has the Gaming Pass, right? Surely they wouldn't miss their one consistent success story. Well, as October began, they revealed a complete service revamp with a new tagline. This is how we play. Gaming Pass Ultimate is now $30 monthly. Standard became premium at $15. Core became essential at $10. All of these tiers now have cloud gaming access, with Ultimate subscribers getting the best quality streaming. That's on top of Fortnite Crew, EA Play, online multiplayer, and over 75 day one titles yearly, and access to over 400 games. The biggest functional change? Premium subscribers won't get Xbox published titles on day one anymore.
Oh my god, bro.
Oh, hell no, man. What the fuck, man? Get your ass on.
They'll get access within a year. Could be a month, could be 11 months. Roll the dice. Obviously, there's been a massive backlash, especially after Xbox President Sandra Bond revealed Gaming Pass generated $5 billion in revenue this last year. The service is clearly profitable, so why aggressively increase the price? The timing tells you everything about Microsoft's strategy. 3 major Xbox titles launched this month: Ninja Gaiden 4, Keeper, and Outer Worlds 2. The Ultimate subscribers got early access to Call of Duty Black Ops 7 beta, and they'll be getting full access to the game in November. Microsoft is deliberately leveraging FOMO around these releases to push people towards expensive Ultimate subscriptions. It's calculated timing designed to maximize revenue when demand peaks. But there's more. Subscribers no longer receive discounts on DLC and add-ons in the Xbox store, regardless of the tier. Indiana Jones and the Great Circle just got a paid expansion called The Order of the Giants. Game Pass subscribers have to pay full price for that expansion, same with Starfield's future content, and naturally this applies to Call of Duty add-ons and premium currency. It's another revenue extraction method, potentially because last year's Call of Duty sales dropped significantly due to Game Pass cannibalization. Think about that. Microsoft is trying to solve a problem that they created by pushing day one Call of Duty onto Game Pass. Now they're trying to scramble to recoup lost traditional sales through subscription prices hike and removing DLC discounts. According to reports from The Verge Time Warren, there's also a free ad-supported cloud gaming tier in testing. You'll watch 2 minutes of pre-roll ads and get 1 hour session limits. This is allegedly coming to PC, Xbox, web browsers, and their upcoming handhelds. Many questions come to mind, but the one question that I have is, why is Microsoft doing this if Gaming Pass is profitable? It's because of the profits that they are monetizing every angle of already sold revenue stream. All of these price hikes feed into Call of Duty somehow. Since it's too late to reverse day one Game Pass access, they'll squeeze every possible dollar to compensate for lost individual sales. Is it surprising that Ultimate went up exactly $10, the same amount that they wanted to add to $70 games before backing down? I wouldn't be shocked if they commit to $80 games next year with titles like Fable, Gears of War E-Day, and Forza Horizon 6. And if you complain you can't afford $80 games, well, Gaming Pass Ultimate is only $30 per month. Then it'll be $40, but that's still a better deal, right? That's how they get you. Microsoft is making themselves look bad through their own messaging. They're presenting these changes as better value while pushing corporate slogans that feel focus grouped and hollow. Maybe I'd be less frustrated if I knew that gaming profits would be reinvested into better games and studios, but I know that it's funding Microsoft's larger AI initiatives instead. Gaming is profitable, but that money isn't being returned into the gaming divisions in ways that benefits the players. This isn't about another subscription costing more. It's not even about criticizing the corporation for pushing profits. That's just what they do. Rather, it's about a bigger picture of how Microsoft has handled Xbox. They're sacrificing first-party game sales for Game Pass. They've repeatedly undermined their own console through hardware, through confusing messaging and consistent price increases. They shut off employees and they shuttered successful studios like Arcane Austin, Tango Gameworks, and Alpha Dog Games. These weren't just failing studios. Tango made Hi-Fi Rush, which was critically acclaimed. These closures happened because Microsoft managed failed to provide sustainable direction. Instead of investing in goodwill or keeping their subscriber base satisfied in an area where they've succeeded, they're squeezing subscribers harder. It's a bold strategy, and I'm generally uncertain how this will play out long term, but they're committed now. They're in too deep to reverse course without massive reimbursement. Leading up to this announcement this week, rumors suggested that maybe a $5 increase was going to take place, taking Ultimate from $20 to $25, but instead we got $30. That's a blindside to everyone. This is a 50% increase. When was the last time any major subscription service raised their prices by 50% in one move? Netflix, Spotify, Disney Plus, they all increased gradually, but Microsoft hit everyone with a massive jump at one time. Usually when subscription services raise prices, everybody complains but keeps subscribing anyway. That's been the pattern, and this was true for previous Game Pass increases, but this time feels different. The increase was so large that even devoted Xbox fans seem fed up. I've been reading forums, social media, and anger widespreads are intense. This isn't the usual internet outrage that disappears quickly. People are actively canceling. Microsoft's own cancellation website was crashing from their own volume of requests. And when your infrastructure buckles under people trying to leave your service, you got a serious problem on your hands, and let me tell you that. So what's actually changing? Gaming Pass Ultimate is getting 45 additional games through Ubisoft Plus Classics. That's essentially older Ubisoft titles you can regularly find on sale for $5 to $10 each. Assassin's Creed 2, Black Flag, Syndicate, the Ezio Collection. There's even Assassin's Creed Chronicles China and India and Russia. I love all of these games highly. Black Flag is one of my favorites of all time, but these aren't difficult or expensive to acquire. They go on sale constantly. You could grab most of them for less than $30 total. To be fair, it's not exclusively old Assassin's Creed games either. Hogwarts Legacy is included, though heavily discounted since launch. You got generally good games like Hades, Cities Skylines, Warhammer 40k Darktide, Prince of Persia's The Lost Crown is excellent, but notice what's absent? Assassin's Creed Shadows isn't included. Apparently that's too valuable for a $30 monthly subscription. Core is now essential at $10 monthly. Standard became premium at $15. If you're on those lower tiers, your price hasn't changed, just a new name. It's specifically Ultimate and PC Gaming Pass subscribers feeling this squeeze. And if you're watching this, you probably fall into those categories. Most dedicated gamers want Ultimate or PC Gaming Pass for day one releases. Beyond Ubisoft games, what justifies that extra $10 for Ultimate? If you already paid $12 monthly for Fortnite Crew separately, that's a legitimate value, but not everyone plays Fortnite. Many Ultimate subscribers have zero interest in it. For them, this benefit is worthless. They're paying for something they'll never use. There's upgraded cloud gaming with 2K resolution, improved bit rates, and shorter wait times. That sounds impressive. I've tried cloud gaming multiple times, and when the conditions are perfect, it works really well, but it still has fundamental problems. Latency, compression artifacts, requiring strong internet is not replacing native hardware gaming in 2025, to be honest with you. Microsoft promised more day one releases. The Outer Worlds 2 is confirmed day one. That's valuable if you want that specific game, but the promise remains vague. How many more releases? What defines noteworthy? PC Gaming Pass users might have the worst deal of them all. The price increases by $4.50 monthly, and PC players don't even get the full Ubisoft Plus library. They get around 50 Ubisoft titles, partial access to the collection. They still get day one release, which is significant, but essentially you're paying for extra partial Ubisoft back catalog access and nothing else substantial. So let's do the math. Gaming Pass Ultimate now costs $360 yearly. That's equivalent to 50 full price $70 games. Factor in games go on sale, and many excellent indie titles cost way less. And the number of games you could buy outright for $360 increases substantially. For many consumers, the subscription math doesn't add up anymore. When you buy games outright, you own them. Okay, well, you own the license to own them, which opens up another conversation about digital ownership. Check out the video that I did previously on it. But you don't worry about games disappearing from the service subscriptions. There's always a concern about storefronts eventually shutting down, but that's more distant than games rotating off Game Pass every month. If you're someone who takes time with games, playing something for months and then taking breaks, Gaming Pass creates a big problem for you. The service used to be affordable enough to overlook these issues. Even if a game left before you finished, you were only out of $20, but at $30 monthly, every game rotates out before completion stings considerably more. For the casual player who buys 2 to 3 games yearly and play them extensively, $360 is probably more than their total gaming expenditure. For demographic, Gaming Passes at this price makes zero financial sense. They'd be better off buying specific games that they wanted. From someone like me who plays numerous of games for work and enjoyment, $360 yearly approaches what I might spend anyway. But I recognize that I'm not typical. I'm a little crazy with my money, but most people don't play as extensively, so I have to view this from the average subscriptions perspective. Ultimate value depends on multiple conditions being true simultaneously. Playing games exclusively on Xbox or PC, being comfortable with digital libraries, accepting subscription model, being interested in specific day one releases Microsoft offers, playing enough games to completion to justify $30 monthly. That's numerous qualifications that we have to think about, and every price increase makes satisfying those conditions even harder. At $20, Ultimate was genuinely a great deal for many gamers. At $30, it's extremely situational. You really need to value whether it makes sense for your specific habits and budget. There's also content pacing. Sure, you get Outer Worlds 2, that's exciting. Grounded launched recently, Ninja Gaiden 4 is on the way. There's months where Gaming Pass feels packed with value, but then we do have to think about the dry months where nothing compelling really releases. You're maintaining your subscription hoping that something interesting appears. At $30 monthly, those dry stretches feel wasteful in ways you didn't with $20. You're spending money for a service you're not actively using. This highlights a fundamental difference between gaming and other entertainment subscriptions. Television seasons can be binged in a weekend. That's a passive activity, but games require active engagement and substantial time investment. A single game may take 10 to over 100 hours depending on that genre and thoroughness of the player. That's a massive time commitment compared to other subscription entertainment. That's why gaming subscription pricing needs to remain relatively low. Game Pass' entire selling point was being the best deal in gaming, period. If you're no longer the best deal, what's the value proposition now? Unlike Netflix or Disney Plus with exclusive content you can't access anywhere else, most Gaming Pass games can be purchased individually on platforms people already own. The appeal was always that Gaming Pass offered a cheaper alternative, but at $30 monthly, it's not necessarily cheaper anymore. This makes me wonder if Microsoft is subtly pushing consumers back towards individual game purchases. Maybe they want a better balance between subscription revenue and traditional sales. Who knows? Microsoft already tried raising the games to $80 with Outer Worlds 2 and reversed the backlash. Maybe this ultimate increase compensates for backing down on $80 games. If they can't extract revenue through game sales, they'll get it through subscriptions. Community response have been overwhelmingly negative. Longtime Xbox subscribers are actively canceling in large numbers. Browse Reddit, Twitter, gaming forums, you name it, you'll find countless of people saying that they're done with Xbox, period. This isn't performative outrage. People are actively leaving. Microsoft obviously anticipated some subscriber loss. They employed analyst teams who modeled the scenario. They've calculated increased revenue from higher pricing that will offset subscription loss, but it's possible they're miscalculating the loss of scale, or they're prioritizing short-term revenue over long-term subscriber growth and brand loyalty. That's been a troubling pattern with Xbox decision-making, short-term thinking that sacrifices long brand health. And it's concerning for Xbox's future. Let's examine broader 2025 contents. Repeated console prices increase alone have been super baffling. We're in 2025 and Xbox Series consoles are way more expensive than their 2020 launch. That's how backwards from how console prices typically works. Historically, consoles become cheaper as manufacturing decreases and companies recoup R&D investments. Sony increased PS5 prices in certain regions, citing tariffs and economic pressures, but Xbox did it twice, specifically in US market. The base Xbox Series X now costs $649. That's just $50 less than the PS5 Pro, which is objectively the more powerful unit. The 2TB Galaxy Black Edition costs way more than the PS5 Pro despite the inferior performance specs. Then there's Costco reportedly stopping Xbox product sales entirely, not because Costco is exiting gaming. They're still carrying PlayStation and Nintendo products, they're just specifically dropping Xbox altogether. That should be a massive warning about brand health. Xbox European market has always lagged behind PlayStation and Nintendo, but things appear to be deteriorating even more for them. Sometimes it feels like the entire Xbox console ecosystem is collapsing under their poor corporate decisions. But Xbox isn't just hardware anymore. Microsoft has aggressively pivoted toward being a game publisher and a service provider. They now own Bethesda, Activision Blizzard, making them arguably the largest gaming publisher globally. Their gaming presence isn't disappearing. Gaming Pass isn't going anywhere despite controversy, but whether this is pricing strategy is sustainable long-term or steady eroding consumer goodwill remains questionable. Microsoft laid off employees in Stutter Studios this year. These closures happened because Microsoft Managed failed to provide sustainable direction. Now they're removing subscriber DLC discounts while raising subscription prices. They're testing ad-supported cloud gaming. They're squeezing every revenue stream while providing less consumer value. Maybe I feel less critical if these revenues were reinvested into better games, more ambitious projects, or improved services, but significant portions of Microsoft gaming profits are being funneled into corporate AI initiatives. Gaming is profitable. Gaming Pass generates billions, but that money isn't returning into gaming in meaningful ways. So what are the takeaways? Xbox Gaming Pass has significantly more expensive while lowering its maintained pricing. PC gaming has increased significantly without providing value. The fundamental value proposition has changed and consumers are visibly frustrated, leaving in meaningful numbers. It's tempting to dismiss complaints about gaming prices increase, but people have complained about rising costs for years and generally everyone accepts it. But I think we're witnessing an actual turning point. The conversation has fundamentally shifted. This isn't just venting that dissipates. People are actively canceling in large numbers that are enough to crash Microsoft's cancellation infrastructure. When you subscribe to multiple services, you have a monthly budget. Every price increase makes you reevaluate. But when a subscription jumps 50% at once, you don't just reevaluate, you question seriously whether you want that subscription at all. When Black Ops 7 launches in November, that'll drive temporary subscriptions. When the next major Bethesda releases arrives, people will return, but many will stay unsubscribed permanently. The trust is broken already. Time will reveal how this affects Microsoft's bottom line. Maybe subscribers lost will be minimal and increased revenue per subscriber will compensate. Maybe their analysts are correct, but perception around Gaming Pass has shifted dramatically and is very negative. It's no longer widely considered the best value in gaming. Once you lose that perception, the mental positioning in consumers' mind is extremely difficult to reclaim them. So what do you guys think? Are you going to keep the subscription, or is Microsoft getting way too greedy? Let me know in the comments. If you like this video and you want more, please subscribe to the channel or catch me live on Twitch where we can hang out and games together. Until next time, watch your pockets, don't overspend, and stay alpha.